The show tonight. The show tonight is how I became an arms dealer in 8 days. Yes, sirree Bob, I'm a fucking arms dealer now. And last week you saw me, I was standing before you, another fat, sweaty, balding, fucked off dad. I'm a different man today. I'm a man of substance. I'm an arms dealer. I might even donate money to the Labour Party. And I know what you're saying, Mark, what kind of arms are you dealing with? Let me show you the product. Can you bring on the product, please? Let's have a look. These are the arms that we're dealing with. If you could pass me over. These are serious bits of kit. This is a Heckler & Koch MP5 submachine gun. And the company's called Heckler & Koch, which I know, sorry, it's not the name of some crap comedy double act. Hello, I'm Heckler, and I'm Koch. So this is Heckler & Koch. This is a Heckler & Koch MP5. It does about 30 rounds in 2 seconds. It's used by the police at the airport. Should have seen it around. And it basically does more harm than good. That's all you need to know. There we go. Heckler & Koch, I should explain, is a German company that is owned by Royal Ordnance, who in turn are owned by BAE Systems, who used to be British Aerospace. So the company that made that gun, ultimately, is a British-owned company. Did you see that? Did you see that other week? Everyone was getting upset, or the government were getting upset, because the Israelis used British-purchased Chieftain tanks in the illegally occupied territories on the Palestinians. And all the British press, oh, terrible, terrible, and the politicians, dreadful. What did you fucking think they were going to do with them? Do you know what I mean? You sold them the tanks. Do you think the Israelis are going to go, oh, we got the tank, fantastic, let's make a rockery around it. Come on, everyone, make a rockery. These Palestinians, why is this rockery next to my home? The Israelis, what do you mean, your home? So, the point being was, you know, Britain has sold arms to any fucker. If you're a psychopath who's murdered members of your close family, bang, we'll sell to you. That's the way it goes. And Britain was shoveling this shit out to anyone. And the Labour Party, they were mad in opposition. We can't have this kind of stuff. Robin Cook made his name on the back of the Scott report. 3 hours, digested the fucking lot, bang, whacked them in the Commons. Everyone's like, hooray, Labour, we're going to change. We're going to make sure this never happens again. 7 years later, the Labour government are bringing through the Arms Export Control Bill, and this is their answer to the Scott report. It doesn't mention 2 very, very important things. It doesn't mention end-use monitoring of arms, and it doesn't mention licensed export controls. Because these guns, the Heckler & Koch guns, the licence is sold to other companies who make the guns. Companies in places like Turkey. They can make that gun under licence from Heckler & Koch and sell it to wherever their country tells them they can. Surely there should be some end-use monitoring so you know where the arms are supposed to go. So what we thought was, let's see what we can do. Let's see what arms we can buy and what deals we can set up. We set up a front company, we got an office, we got a couple of phone lines, an email address, a fax, some headed paper, and just started writing to people. Can we have some guns, please? And people started to come back to us. We phoned up a place called Brugger and Tommet in Switzerland. And what we wanted to do was to phone them and try and get some of these Heckler & Koch guns, because Brugger and Tommet are an agent and a distributor for Heckler & Koch. And they do it in Switzerland. They're a Swiss company. And we went to Brugger and Tommet because basically we'd heard that Switzerland's export controls were very lax. And we thought, let's see if we can get some Heckler & Koch submachine guns out of Switzerland. Let's try and get them into a place that Britain wouldn't sell to, like Algeria. So we go to Switzerland, get in touch with Brugger and Tommet, say hi. We said, can you help us get the guns to Algeria? And they said, oh, well, we might be able to quote, but you know, the laws have changed. They've changed, in fact, today. We said, oh, have they? Yes. So laws have changed, and, you know, you need a lot of paperwork, and, well, can you quote for the guns to go to... Yeah, sure, OK, maybe we'll do... Yeah, sure. And we waited and waited. Nothing came in. So we sent out some other letters to the factories, the arms factories and companies in Turkey, MKEK, which is state-owned, Pakistan Ordnance Factory, state-owned again, and the Iranian defence factories, state-owned. And we sent off asking for guns, machine guns, and thought we'd change it. We won't ask for Algeria. We'll try and get them into Zimbabwe. Because there's an EU sanctions policy on it, and you're not allowed to sell. So if, Heckler & Koch licensed gun will be going into a country which Britain couldn't legally sell them into. We get a fax back from MKEK, the Turkish defence people, and they say, yeah, we'll sell you Heckler & Koch MP5 submachine guns for Zimbabwe, and we'll sell it to you for $850 per gun. There's a quote. MKEK, they're $850. They're doing the A3, MP5 A3 version, which is with a removable butt stock, I think. No, it's very technical in the world of arms. So I phoned up the Turkish thing and they said, hello, it's made, these are made under licence from Heckler & Koch, and they actually said some German parts are in the gun. So Heckler & Koch make money out of selling the parts for Turkey to assemble it. So we thought, oh, that's quite cool. They're going to get it out to Zimbabwe. Then we got in a quote from Pakistan Ordnance Factories, and they were going to offer us... it came in at $550 per gun. We also got a quote in from the Iranian defence people. I just want to tell you this. This is a quote for guns, and their top line is, "In the name of God..." The Islamic Republic... And you think, in the name of God, surely that's a misinterpretation. You mean, for God's sake! But look at this. Price... $300 a gun. Oh yeah, in Iran you can't beat that. Now for the Turkish one, they said, yeah, you'll need to get a permit and you'll need to get this and it'll need to go to the ministry. And in Pakistan they said, yeah, you'll need an end user certificate and you'll need to get approval from the ministry. In Iran they just go put the money into a bank in Dubai. We'll give you the guns. We're dealing with the Peckham End here. Here we go, 300 quid a gun. I'm not asking much, I'm cutting my own throat. Come on, lads, we're shoving them off the back here. I can't hang around all day. Here we go, guns are up, out the back. Wait, missus, of course it's fucking Chanel. It says so on the label. But the weird thing was, Pakistan, we phoned up the Pakistan Ordnance Factory and said, listen, I'm very impressed by the price, but the client needs to be reassured of the quality. First time we've dealt with POV. And they said, oh, you've got to phone up the Pakistan embassy in London because it's a state-owned factory, the Pakistan Ordnance Factory, and we have a representative of the factory in the embassy. So they say, yeah, come over to the embassy. We go over to the embassy. We get there. Listen, very important. Nice to meet you. How are you? Fantastic. This is the client. Very, very... very happy with the price, but needs to be reassured about the quality. This is the best quality, this is fantastic, blah, blah, blah. We have a nice little chat. What you should do is you talk to the export manager director. You phone him tomorrow morning. I'll set up the phone call. Everyone will be waiting. You can sort things. Thank you very much, lovely. So, you better have a brochure. This is the Pakistan Ordnance Factory's brochure. I just flipped it open, and they... Yeah, I don't know if you can see it there. The first thing there is an anti-personnel mine. There, nice, and next to it, an anti-personnel shrapnel mine, which on the front of it says, front towards enemy. Because safety is so important. We phone up the Pakistan Ordnance Factory, and I start having a chat, and this guy is really nice on the other end. They said, now listen, what are the questions? I said, first of all, the client, very impressed with the price. Oh, good. Needs to be reassured about the quality. These are the best quality. These are made under licence from Heckler & Koch. What about upgrades? Yes, we get upgrades. I don't have to go to Heckler & Koch. I can come to you. Yes, you can come to us. That's brilliant, because it's not just a historic licence. It's ongoing, because they're doing the upgrades, and it means they're getting them over into POV, and bang, there's a current business relationship. So he starts having a chat, and he said, now, they're going to Zimbabwe. Yes. I said, no, there's going to be no problem. He said, no. I said, are you sure? He said, yes, we have to get approval at the ministry, but that's not a problem. I said, is it going to be a problem? He said, no, just a formality, just go through, don't worry. I said, are you sure? Yes. He said, now listen, these guns you're selling, they're not going to rebels, are they? Now, there aren't any rebels in Zimbabwe, there's just a terror state. But I said, no. They're going to... This is military, this is state security. These people we're selling the guns to are very close to Robert Mugabe himself. Oh, good. You have to be careful who you sell to. I kid you not. So I'm like, and he said, and it was great. He said, now if you sell over a certain amount, you've got a small amount here, 225. He said, if you sell over, say, 1,000 MP5s, you know, we could actually include a free gift of a free holding bag made of fiberglass worth $82 free for every gun. And so I was just like, ah! And then he said he was lovely. We were just chatting away, and he said, "Now you mustn't put too much markup on, will you? You're going to put a markup on these guns. You're not to put too much on because then that will ruin it. See, if you put too much money on, then we won't sell as much as we want to around the place. Okay?" I said, "Yeah, fine." And then he said, "We're looking for people who can promote our products. If you think you've got contacts and you think they'll be strong in Zimbabwe, we'd be pleased to give you an authorization in the future. We can also work on a small percentage for you." So let's get this straight. A British comedian sending faxes out on some Mickey Mouse operation now has the dealership to sell guns in an EU embargoed country that are being licensed out of Heckler & Koch coming in through Pakistan into that said country. Bit of a weird week all round, really.
Now, what I have to tell you is that my name is actually Mark Thomas. I am a journalist for Channel 4 television in Britain, and I am recording the telephone call. I'm on the back of a truck, and I'm looking at the Pakistan embassy as we speak here. You said you were happy to sell guns to Zimbabwe, and happy that the guns went to sources close to Robert Mugabe. Can I ask you, what assessment do you have of human rights in the countries you sell to? I think that's a hang-up, guys.
Meanwhile, we get back to the office and this email has come through. And we're like, hello, what's this? Brugger and Tomic from Switzerland. And they say, hello. They haven't quoted for the guns. They said, why don't you get in touch with our agent in Finland, Mr. Olli Salo? We think he'll be able to help you in this matter. Phone up Olli Salo in Finland. Hello. I said, listen, I'm phoning up because I got a little fax, a little email from Brugger and Tomic about supplying some Heckler & Koch MP5 submachine guns to Algeria, and they said you might be able to help us. Yes, not a problem. Really? Now, to sell weapons, you need two things. You need an export licence and you need an import licence. It needs to get an export licence to leave the country, and it needs an import licence to get in, right? That's how you're supposed to control the flow of arms. So I said, right, you can get the guns to Algeria. Not a problem, that's fine. I said, well, you know, where do you want them moved through? I said, well, could you move them into Spain? He goes, no, it'd be much better if we flew them direct to Algeria. Would it? Yes, because then you only need an import permit. That means the Algerians have just got to request the guns. Yes. Now, Algeria probably will get the import permit if the Algerian government ask themselves. Can we have an import? No! Are you sure? Okay. I'm just fucking with you. So we're going, wow, we've just got an offer to buy guns from Finland into Algeria. He said, all the paperwork we need is an import permit from the country of destinations. That's the only paper we want. Finrappel oi. I've phoned them back just to check. They said, we don't need export, do we? That's me. No. And that's because it's transshipment. Yeah, that's the reason. They are saying that they're not exporting, they're just shipping on. So we're like, So I said, put the phone down. Phoned up Brugger and Tomic. I said, look, I'm very impressed with your agent out in Finland. And they say, oh, he's our agent. Well, he said, and this is what they say. They said, he's our agent for many parts of the world with stuff like this. And the fact that the regulations we have there is very liberal and it's working very smooth. So we phone up Ollie. I said, look, the client needs to ask a couple of questions, but he also wants to buy some sniper's rifles made in Britain. They're not made anywhere else. Can we get those into Switzerland, out from Switzerland, into Finland, Algeria? Not a problem. So we've now got licensed production stuff coming out of Germany, into Switzerland, Finland, going out to Algeria, and we got stuff from Britain coming through. So I said, OK, now, I need to know, Ollie, can you just sort of talk me through some of the stuff? And I'm not sure about the status of how it works. And can you put up Ollie's stuff? He says, it has to come from outside the European Union. If it comes from Germany, we need an export licence. But when it comes from outside, it doesn't. That's the trick. Switzerland, obviously, isn't in the European Union. The parts leave Germany under export licence, where it's assembled in Switzerland, and then they export it to Finland. We said, do we deal with Brugger and Thomas? He said, no. Officially, we are the only ones dealing with you because, obviously, it can't be sold if Switzerland is involved in any way regarding you. He says, the Swiss end doesn't know anything about this deal because they require export licences from the Swiss to Finland. And then it's up to us what we do with the shipment. OK. So, put the phone down, think, this is getting, let's try it, let's give him another call. Said, Ollie, look, the client is quite nosy. Yes, he is, but, you know, I think we're going to get the deal. Oh, good. So, he wants to know, can you do the deal to Zimbabwe? Can you get the guns? Can we also order up the MP5s to go into Zimbabwe and these sniper rifles? No problem. OK, so we're now going to get guns from Britain and Germany, made under licence, made in Britain, out into Zimbabwe, EU sanction. He said, it's not a problem, we can do it all legally, no problem. As long as there's no UN embargo on the country, we can get it out there. Not a problem. The Swiss saying, under current law, we're not allowed to export any arms to Zimbabwe. So obviously, if Brugger and Tomet are sending from Switzerland to Finland, which are then going to go to Zimbabwe, that could be a question mark. The Finnish say they abide by any EU sanctions which are legally binding. So I'm not sure exactly how they're doing it.
I just had to sort out a couple of quick questions before I email over all the details for the transfers and of letters of credits and money. The client is absolutely insistent that they know step by step what's happening with the package, with the guns on at each stage of the journey. And they're saying what happens to the guns once they're in Finland. Yes, but does the because the export license is for Finland, they're saying that's your problem. So basically, well, they're just asking about. Okay, I don't need to know. So if it's being exported into Finland, are you sort of saying, okay, once it's in Finland, we're going to change the label and basically say it's for. Okay. OK, so you're changing it from import to transshipment.
Now, follow this carefully because it's for your own safety. Rifles go from here, then Switzerland into Finland. Finland, go there and there. Or they come out of Germany, go there. Or we could go from here to there, 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 there. What it basically means is the bad men look like they're getting the guns again. In a way, it doesn't kind of matter how they're doing it. The point is, if you had end-use monitoring and if you had licence controls, this wouldn't be happening. This would not be happening. And what you've got, though, you've got Patricia Hewitt, the person who's supposed to take control. It's not as if she doesn't know about it. Well, maybe she doesn't know about it. Maybe she doesn't know this kind of thing. Maybe she just sits there in the DTO office going, can't hear you, can't.
Ollie, it's Mark.
Yes. Right.
Ollie, I just have to tell you, my name is Mark Thomas. I'm a reporter. I'm recording the telephone call for broadcast on a truck outside the Department of Trade and Industry. I'd like to ask you were explaining how you were going to get guns to Zimbabwe. How are you going to do that without breaking the law, Ollie?
I knew you were called.
No, but you've said to me that you would get the guns from Finland.
It was a lie.
But you were explaining how you're going to get Heckler & Koch MP5 submachine guns.
We can't.
You've explained to me on numerous occasions that you can, and that you've given me paperwork providing...
Don't believe anything you hear.
You're retracting everything, is that correct?
No.
So you're standing by everything?
No. It's a joke.
OK, Ollie, so you're saying it's a joke, yet you were explaining to me how...
Because we can't do that. We can't do it.
You're now saying you can't do it. Now revealed that I'm a journalist, you're saying you can't do it.
Sorry, we can't do that. It's an embargoed country.
But you've told me on numerous occasions you can get guns from Finland into Zimbabwe. Now this will break the EU.
Please,
This will break the EU sanctions, wouldn't it?
Sorry, there's a lot of noise behind you.
That's because I'm outside the Department of Trade and Industry, as I explained, with a loudspeaker system broadcasting the conversations to them. Now I've explained that to you, Ollie. When I phoned you last week and said, could you help me get MP5 machine guns out to Algeria? And you said, we can do it directly and it won't be a problem and all you'll need is an import permit.
Last expert for Africa.
Do you remember saying that?
No.
No, you don't remember saying that.
I could have said, but in reality it's for the job. We can't do that.
So why did you say to me that you could?
For money, I'll say anything you want from here.
Ollie, you were prepared to break the law, weren't you?
No.
You've just described to me 10 minutes ago how you left the guns in the packages and you were going to change the labels. That is breaking the law, isn't it?
It isn't if we have an export license, but we have to apply it first.
This is the first time you've ever mentioned it, isn't it, Ollie?
What it basically means is Britain makes the money through other people's misery, selling this stuff all across the world. They can go anywhere they like with it, essentially, apart from, obviously, the axis of evil, where they're licensed themselves. We found this out in 8 days. 8 days. It's not rocket science. You just have to speak the vaguely right language, and even then, they don't fucking care. Yeah, I was making mistakes all over the place, and they don't hear it, because they hear money. It don't matter. People say, don't sit there and just stay in your armchair and do nothing about these things. You should get up and do something about it. No, don't. When it comes to the elections on May the 2nd, stay in your fucking armchair. Do not fucking bother with them. Thanks for coming along. Cheers. Night-night.